Hello my loves, Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts and welcome back to my channel. Now, as somebody who's been crocheting for over a decade, I can tell you firsthand how expensive this hobby can be. From all the yarn and the hooks and the notions and the bags, oh my gosh, so many bags. All those little purchases can really add up, so if you're a maker looking to save a few pennies, you've come to the right place. Now this might shock you, but there are hundreds of thousands of free crochet patterns out there if you're willing to look for them. I'm talking clothing, housewares, baby items, amigurumi. You can literally crochet anything without paying a dime for the pattern. I don't know if we've discussed this already, but I am a new Jeep girly and I've been looking up patterns for how to crochet a tire cover, and there are so many free pattern inspirations out there, like I'm overwhelmed. Now, if you're ready to go on a journey, open up a couple more tabs in your browser and get into this list of 10 places to find free crochet patterns. I've got links to all of the resources down in the description. Now, before we start filling our crochet pattern binders, we do have to give some love to our cup of caffeine sponsor. It is the summertime, so your girl has switched to iced tea. I made this one with some black tea, and then I had this strawberry apple pineapple tea. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Now today's sponsor is Erica, and when donating, Erica said, "I've been watching your YouTube channel and videos for years and you are the best teacher, Tony. For the first time in my life at 67, I decided to do a project. I did the Starlight basket and it came out fantastic. Thank you so much. I loved Crochet Academy. You are fabulous." Well, if I didn't know it already, thanks for reminding me that I am fabulous, darling. I'm glad you enjoyed the pattern and I'm sure it looks fantastic. Now, if you enjoy my channel and want to support, buy me a coffee. Who knows, I might shout you out in my next video. Now let's talk free patterns. Now, the most obvious choice to top this list is gonna be the hub for the knit and crochet community, and that is Ravelry. Now, Ravelry is best known for their 1.2 million pattern database, but there's a lot more to this site, and I'm gonna tell you more about that later. To access Ravelry, you do have to make a free account, but it's actually kind of fun. They ask you things like, do you have pets or kids, and what's your favorite curse word? And in my book, those are great ways to get to know someone. After making a profile, head to the homepage and click patterns from the top menu bar. I like to go straight to advanced search from there. And then to find the free patterns, you're gonna scroll down that left search bar until you reach availability. Click the box next to free and you'll see 300,000 plus free crochet patterns pop up. Narrow down your search using the extensive filters that are available within Ravelry to find exactly what you're looking for. Now, if you're brand new to Ravelry, you're really in for a treat. Not only can you find knit and crochet patterns on this site, but you can also find information about yarns, search up local yarn stores, join the conversation within the communities, and make some new friends in the forums. You'll really need to click around a bit and be patient to make the most of this site, but it's 1000% worth it. Now, I tell you right now, you're gonna wanna bookmark this one. Allfreecrochet.com is a friendly crochet website and community that offers free patterns, how-to videos, and tutorials for beginner to intermediate level crocheters. Now, I love two main things about allfreecrochet.com. One, you don't need an account to access the free patterns, and two, they have a very extensive collection. They gather free patterns from a lot of the sites that I'm mentioning on today's list, so you can get all of that inspiration without clicking around the internet for hours. This site is especially fantastic for a more traditional stitcher. You'll find a nearly overwhelming selection of blankets, amigurumi, winter clothing, and crochet motifs. One thing to consider is that allfreecrochet.com is a pretty beefy website. They've got a lot of photos and ads, which can sometimes slow down the browsing experience. So I recommend checking out this site from your computer rather than a tablet or a phone. My favorite place to find free crochet patterns is from the designers themselves. Crochet designers from around the world very generously offer lots of free patterns that are available to view on their websites and blogs. Now, each designer does have their own flair and style, so it's a good idea to join their email list so you don't miss out on information about new patterns or special crochet events they're having. You can also search for free patterns on websites like Pinterest or easycrochet.com, and they'll point you in the right direction to those independent designers. Now, if you're new here, let me give you some much needed tea on accessing free patterns from these designers. It's an industry standard practice for these crochet designers to offer a free version of their pattern to view on their sites. This means that you have to keep your device open to access the free version of the pattern. There are typically ads on these pages, and the designer gets paid based on how long you stay on the page with the ads. So you get to access the pattern for free, the designer gets paid for their hard work on the back end. It's a win-win to me. Now, not every designer does it this way, and I get that that might not be your preferred way to access a free pattern, but consider that most crochet designers do not make a living wage off of their art, so be nice. And if you really want a downloadable version of the pattern, skip your latte today and go buy it from their shop. A new player in the free pattern game is a site called Ribblr. Now, I'm still relatively new to Ribblr, but I can say checking out their site is a real treat. You can feel like this youthful energy when you go to their site, and it's kind of nice to avoid some of the stuffiness that you get from those traditional crochet communities, so I dig it. Now, finding free patterns on this site is a little less intuitive, so here's how I usually go about it. I'll click crochet as the craft in the top menu bar, and then I'll filter the results by price, low to high. So the free ones come up at the top of the search. Now, some of the patterns are free outright, and some of them do require you to follow the designer on Ribblr's platform to access. Now, Ribblr is a community first and foremost, so don't be stingy with those follows. Start by making an account, then click Get It Now, and the pattern is automatically added to your library. Ribblr has this unique pattern format that allows you to strike through lines as you complete the pattern, and your progress is saved whether it's on a phone, a tablet, or the computer. My international friends are going to love Crafts. Now, they're best known for their massive yarn selection, but did you know that they also have an extensive collection of free patterns for knit, crochet, cross stitch, and embroidery? I had no idea. To find them, navigate to that top menu bar and click your craft of choice. For me, it's gonna be crochet. Hover over crochet, and then you'll find a column called patterns and books, and then you can click free crochet patterns. From there, you can narrow things down by project type, what language the pattern is in, and the yarn weight. Once you select the pattern, you'll be prompted to make an account, then you can download the pattern, and it's also added to your library. Now, patterns uploaded to Lovecrafts come from big yarn companies as well as independent designers, so there's no standard as far as the pattern writing. It's kind of a roll of the dice, but worth it for a free pattern. What's nice though is that each of these patterns mentions the yarn used, so you can go straight to the yarn side of Lovecrafts and get what you need to make the project. Now, I try my best not to play favorites, but I do have to give Lion Brand their props when it comes to the free pattern game. They're constantly offering new yarns, and they come out with lots of free patterns to help promote them. Head over to the Lion Brand website and navigate to the top menu bar. Hover over patterns, and you'll find all free patterns at the bottom of the list. Then you can narrow down your search by craft, skill level, and many other features. I especially love filtering by yarn weight, because then I can use up some of my scraps. Now, once you find the pattern that you want, you'll be directed to the kit page, and this gives you a few options. You can get the pattern by creating a free account, and that's going to give you access to a downloadable PDF. But on that kit page, you can also add the exact yarn used to your cart to make that project. Lion Brand does a great job of helping you start your next whip. Next up are two companies that I am sure share a brain. That is We Are Knitters and Wool and the Gang. Now, I know they're separate companies, but tell me you don't see the similarities. Now, compared to other sites on this list, Wool and the Gang and We Are Knitters have a relatively small selection of free patterns, but in my opinion, they're a lot more modern and something that I would actually make. Just beware of the pattern writing structure. It's meant to be beginner friendly, but in my opinion, sometimes it's just a bit confusing, so go slow. Find free patterns from We Are Knitters by selecting patterns from that top menu bar, and then there's a checkbox next to free patterns, and you can narrow things down to crochet by clicking on the technique dropdown. As of filming this video, there are 27 free patterns available from We Are Knitters, including this cute little basket from yours truly. You can find patterns similarly from the Wool and the Gang website. Start off by selecting patterns from the top menu bar. Then you'll want to filter down your search. First, select crochet from the craft filter, and then select free from the pattern type filter. Here you'll have 29 patterns to select from, including this really cute alphabet that I can imagine a million things for. Just keep note that you will need to make a free account on both sites to access their free patterns. Yarnspirations is the parent company to many of your favorite yarn brands like Red Heart, Caron, Bernat, and many, many more. Now that we have all of these classic brands under one roof, we can access their plethora of patterns, and they're all 100% free. You heard that right. You get access to all of their free crochet patterns. 5,383 to be exact. And that's not counting their free knit, sewing, embroidery, and quilting patterns. Crafty folks better not sleep on Yarnspirations, no ma'am. You can create a free account if you want to, but it's not required. You can access the free patterns without it. To find them, hop over to the patterns section in the top menu bar, and then you can click crochet patterns. All of the free patterns will pop up, and then you can narrow down your selection based on a yarn weight, designer, and project type. Now, I can't make a list about crochet without mentioning my good friends at Hobbii. They have so many goodies on that site that it will be a feat of personal willpower if you even make it to the free patterns. Find the free patterns by selecting patterns from the top menu bar and then select crochet. Then head over to the price drop-down menu and select patterns, and it'll display only the free ones for you. Click on the pattern of your choice and you'll get directed to a kit page. There you'll find a download button for the pattern, which you can access with or without an account. On that same page, you can select all of the yarn, hooks, and notions needed to complete the project, and Hobbii will ship them straight to your door. Now, if you're still on the fence and haven't tried Hobbii before, their free patterns and kits are a great place to start. Last but not least is a resource you might not even think about. You can access hundreds of thousands of free patterns from books and magazines from your local library. Now, one option and my personal favorite is to just go to the library. Find your favorite librarian and ask them to direct you to the craft section. And be sure to lift with your knees when you take back that plethora of crochet goodness. You also have the option to access the library's resources via ebooks and digital magazines. Ask your librarian about apps like Libby and Hoopla to find out what the selection's like in your local area. Search for any craft-related topic and only the most relevant searches will come back to you. You might even stumble upon some craft-based cozy mysteries. I'm telling you, they're quite silly, but they're pretty fun to listen to while you're stitching. Now, companies and designers have lavished us with free patterns for decades, but we do have a responsibility here too. According to US law, a crochet pattern is considered copywritten from the moment it is written down. A free pattern does not mean that it's free use, so please don't ever copy or repost a free pattern that you find online. These patterns belong to the designers or the companies you got them from, so please treat them with the same respect you would a paid pattern unless you receive some other permission. For more information on crochet pattern copyrights, you can check out a blog post written by Little John's Yarn. I have it linked down in the description. Now, if you're looking for a way to support the designers that come up with these amazing patterns, there's lots of ways you can do that without spending a dime. Consider tagging them when you post your projects to social media, add your projects to websites like Ravelry and Ribblr, or just buy the pattern outright. I have a rule: if I use a free pattern more than twice, I always buy it, but that's just me. All right, honey bunnies, so that's 10 different places to find free crochet patterns, so I never want to hear you say you don't know what to make next. If you need a place to start on your free crochet pattern journey, I've got dozens over on my blog, TLYCblog.com. And that's linked down in the description too. And be sure to drop your favorite free pattern resources down in the description. I'm sure I've missed some. Now, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. And when you're done with all of that, I've got more videos for you right here. Do you want this one or you want this one? Which one looks good? Check it out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.